Now we're going to look at the scales of triads. We've already learned how to build triads from a variety of different pitches. The major triad, the minor triad, the diminished triad, and the augmented triad. Now what we're going to do is build a triad on each of the scale degrees of a major scale. When we start with the C major scale, we build a triad from the first pitch of the C major scale, we get a major triad. Now we're going to build triads on each of these pitches and see what the different qualities are. So let's start with C. We have from C, E, and G, we have a major triad. Now if we go from D and stay with all the white pitches in the key of C, we get D, F, and A. And this forms a minor triad. So a 1 chord in C is going to be major and a 2 chord is minor. When we go up to the third scale degree, we would get E, G, and B. This forms a minor triad, so we know that the 3 chord in a major key is going to be minor. Major, minor, minor. Going up to 4, this is F. If you build the next successive pitches of that triad, you're going to get F, A, and C, and that forms a major triad. So the 4 chord in a major key is going to be major. Going up to the G, we get G, B, and D. That also forms a major triad. So you can see so far we have major, minor, minor, major, and major. Going up to the A, we have A, C, and E. That forms a minor triad. So a 6 chord in a major key is going to be minor. And from B, we have B, D, and F. And that forms a diminished triad. So the 7 chord in a major key is going to be diminished. So the scale of triads in a major key are always going to go major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and diminished. More specifically, we have a major 1, minor 2, minor 3, major 4, major 5, minor 6, and diminished 7. Let's build the scale of triads from a different key. How about going to F? Well, the pattern is going to remain the same. Here's the F major scale. We know we're going to have a major triad built on 1, minor on 2, minor on 3, major on 4, major on 5, minor on 6, and diminished on 7. So let's try building that scale of triads. F major, 2 is G, and it's going to be minor. 3 is A, and that's going to be minor. 4 is B flat, and that's going to be major. 5 is major, and that's from C. D is minor, and that's going to be on 6. And the 7 is diminished, and in this case on E. So the scale of triads in F are going to sound like this. So one way to think about these scale of triads is to remember the pattern of triads, whether they're major, minor, or diminished. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and diminished. The other way is to know the key signature. The key signature of F has 1 flat, and that's B flat. So if I just build triads, keeping in mind that my accidental is always going to be B flat, I don't necessarily have to think about the qualities of the chords. I just follow the key signature with my fingers. So here we are, all white pitches on F, but here, because we have a B, it needs to be flat. From A, all white pitches. From B flat, we have a B flat, but the other 2 are white pitches. C is all white pitches. D is all white pitches, and from E, because we have a B, it needs to be flat. So that way I didn't need to think about the qualities, I just needed to keep in mind the key signature. Both ways work fine for different people. However, if you really want to understand what's going on in the key, you'll need to know what the qualities of each of the chords are. Let's try building it from a different key. How about from B flat? Here's the B flat major scale. Okay, so let's try this one remembering the qualities of the chords. 1s are major, 2s are minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, and 7 is diminished. So from B flat, we have a B flat major triad. C would be minor. D would be minor. E flat is minor. Excuse me, E flat is major. F is major. G is minor. And A is diminished. Here it is again. If you feel more comfortable, you can arpeggiate the chords. Let's go on to E flat. Let's do this one keeping in mind the key signature. The key signature of E flat is 3 flats. B flat, E flat, and A flat. So if we just move our fingers up the keys, keeping in mind those 3 accidentals, we'll have the scale of triads for E flat. Here we go. From E flat, we would have an E flat and a B flat. From F, an A flat only. From G, a B flat only. The next pitch would be A flat. This would contain an A flat and an E flat. From B flat, a B flat only. From C, an E flat only. And from D, a D would not have an accidental, but A would be flatted. So altogether we have this. How about from A flat? Let's do this one with the qualities of the chords. So one chord is major. Well, let's go for an A flat major scale first. Okay, one chords are major, so A flat major. 2 is minor. 3 is minor, C, E flat, G. 4 is D flat, and that would be major. 5 would be E flat, and that would be major. 6 would be F, and that's minor. 7 would be G, and that's diminished. So altogether we have this. 1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, and 7 diminished. Let's continue on to D flat. Let's do this one with the key signature in mind. The key signature of D flat is B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. So we're going to move our way up the keys, keeping in mind those 5 flats. Anytime we get to a D, E, G, A, or B, it's going to be flat. So our first chord from D flat is going to have a D flat and an A flat. Our next pitch is E flat, and that's going to have an E flat, a G flat, and a B flat. Third is from F, and that's going to have an A flat only. 4 is from G flat, and you can see we're going to have 3 flats, G flat, B flat, and D flat. 6 is from A flat, and you can see we're going to have an A flat and an E flat. 6, that was 5. 6 is from B flat, and you can see we're going to have a B flat and a D flat. And 7 is C, and you can see we're going to have an E flat and a G flat. So altogether we have D flat major, E flat minor, F minor, G flat major, A flat major, B flat minor, C diminished. This is one of your tougher keys. Let's go on to another hard key. That would be G flat. G flat has 6 flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. Even though it's a white pitch, it's called a C flat. Let's do this one with the chord qualities in mind. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and diminished. So G flat, major. A flat, minor. B flat, minor. C flat, major. D flat, major. E flat, minor. And F, diminished. go on to B now. This is where we start our sharps. B major has 5 sharps. Let's do this one using the key signature method. So the 5 sharps of B major are F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. So every time we get to a C sharp, a C, a D, an F, a G, or an A, we're going to use sharps. So with B, it's going to be a B, D, F, but the D and the F are going to be sharped. The next pitch is C sharp. We're going to have a C, E, G, so that means the G is sharped. The next pitch is D sharp. We have a D, F, and an A, so the F sharp and the A sharp get sharped. The next pitch is E. It's an E, G, B, so in this case the G gets sharped. The next pitch is F sharp. It's an F, A, C, so in this case the A sharp and the C sharp become raised. The next pitch is G sharp. In this case it's a G, B, D, so the D gets sharped. And the last pitch is A sharp. It's an A, C, E, so the A gets sharped and the C gets sharped. Here's what the scale of triads in B major sounds like. Let's now go to the scale of triads in E. Let's do this using the chord quality method. So it's going to go major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and diminished. E major scale. 4 sharps, and they are F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. So here we go with the chord quality method. E major, F sharp, minor, G sharp, minor, A, major, B, major, C sharp, minor, D sharp, diminished. We're almost there, 3 left. A major. Let's do this one with the key signature. The key signature of A major is 3 sharps. F sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. A major scale. So anytime I get to an F, C, or G, I'm going to raise them. A, C, E, so the C is sharped. B, D, F, so the F is sharped. C sharp, E, G, so the C sharp and the G is sharped. D, F, A, so the F is sharped. E, G, B, so the G is sharped. F, A, C, so the F is sharped and the C is sharped. G, B, D, so the G is sharped. So with the key signature method, we get this. You can also arpeggiate it. Okay, the next key is D. D has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. Let's do this one with the chord quality method. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and diminished. The one chord is major, so D would be D major. E is 2, so that would be E minor. F sharp is 3, so that would be F sharp minor. G is 4, so that would be G major. A is 5, so that would be A major. B is 6, so that would be B minor. And C sharp is 7, C sharp diminished. So altogether we get this. And the last key is G major. Let's do this one with the key signature method. The key signature of G major has 1 sharp, and that's F sharp.
So we're going to use all the white keys, but anytime we have an F, we're going to make it sharp. So we'd have G, B, D, A, C, E, B, D, F, so the F is sharped, C, E, G, D, F, A, so the F is sharped, E, G, B, so no accidentals, and F, A, C, so the F is sharped. So let's try this again. So there's our introduction to the scale of triads. Go ahead and start practicing now, and we may also have an instructional video to practice with you on these. And also you can look at the video or listen to the lecture on writing all your scales of triads, how they're going to look with key signatures, and how they're supposed to be written correctly in a variety of clefs.